Biafra, superstars, media.
My people, my Biafran people, how on a day? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It depends from where you're listening to the sound of my voice. Just a very brief show today. I want to make reference to what this great man is saying. He is a priest, a man of God, and he has made some point about Nigeria. My people, let us sit back and listen to this man. And I'll come back and break down what this man was saying. Line for line, word for word. You know how I get down. Respect to the Prime Minister, Master Simon Ekpa, for putting this video out. This video is a coded message. It has a coded message. Listen to it, and I'll break it down. Listen.
Resolving a conceptual crisis.
Okay.
What do I mean by a conceptual crisis?
Okay.
Quite often when we speak about Nigeria, we collapse the distinction between country, state, and nation.
Quite often when we speak about that zoo called Nigeria, they kind of make this mistake where they look at a country, a state, and a nation. They are different. A country is different from a nation, and a nation is different from a state. A country is like a landmass. When you find yourself a landmass, you can say, this is now our land. Over time, you say, this is my country. You see, it is different from nation. Nationhood is different, and a state is different. Let us allow this man break it down. Then I'll come back to analyze. Listen, just please listen to this man.
We tend to think that the three mean the same. We tend to think the three are synonyms. A country is a territory.
Okay.
From the Latin contra terra, the land that lies ahead of you. A country is a territory.
A country is a territory. Contra terra is a Latin word. In UK, you hear sometimes you say county. County means a small territory within the whole of the territory. A country is a territory, a landmarked territory, a gridlocked territory. You have the map. You have structured out the map. You are saying this map, this land, this territory belongs to me. That's a country. Anybody can say they have a country, like what they did in Europe, where they shared Africa. The names you have as African countries now, they were given to you by Europeans, by the white man. That's the meaning of a country. Anybody can create a country, but not everybody can create a nation. Nationhood is different from country, because country, you can be subjugated through colonization and say, this is my country, the people, they belong to me, the people, they are my property. That's slavery, and under also you can get it in colonization. Britain came to Africa and he made country. He made a country called Nigeria. Britain came and made a country in Africa called Nigeria. I am going somewhere. That does not mean the people that made that landmass, those in those counties, those from the southeast, the eastern region, those from the western region, those from the north, that they somehow they fell within that thing they call country, that territory they call country. That does not mean that they are one nation, because they are different people. In fact, when you look at the Biafrans, some of us now, we are in Ambazonia, what they call Cameroon. When you look at the Yoruba, most of them, they are in where? Benin Republic, Togo, and the rest of them. Because when Britain carved out that country, when Britain drew the map of the territory called Nigeria, they couldn't go beyond where France also had. France said, oh, okay, stop your boundary here. Let me continue from here. Stop your boundary here, then the other one belongs to me. That is why in the Yoruba side, you see what is happening. Benin Republic and the rest of them, they belong to France. So when you make country, country is not the same as a nation. Country is not the same as a state. Do not mistake country for nationhood. Do not mistake Nigeria for being a nation. Nigeria is not a nation. Nigeria has never been a nation because there has been no agreement. There was no we the people. We are speaking under one accord. Like in America, they say we the people, in God we trust. It is different. The zoo called Nigeria has never had that stuff. What they had was what Lord Lugard did in 1914, the amalgamation of the Northern and Southern Protectorate together. Amalgamation, not nationhood. So nobody should tell me you believe in one Nigeria. What you are saying is you believe in what Britain did. Britain made you one. And when you say you believe in one Nigeria, it means you believe in your creator, which is Britain. You believe in your slave master, which is Britain. You believed on the servant sent by Britain to make you one country, which is Lord Lugard. You believe in the woman, the concubine of the servant, the girlfriend of the servant that proclaimed you as Nigeria, which is Flora Shaw. You get it? There is nothing about nationhood yet. You get the country first. Then the people within the country, after their freedom, after their emancipation, they must now come under one accord, under one umbrella, under one house, in a conference. You can call it anything. They must sit down and discuss. This marriage, this so-called country, do we want to stick as one people? That's the difference. That is what is missing in that zoo called Nigeria. Because you and I know that the Igbo man has a problem with the Hausa. Hausa has problem with Yoruba. Yoruba has problem with Igbo. They don't love themselves. We should stop deceiving ourselves. There is no love lost in that zoo. It means you are still at the transition stage of a country. You are not a nation. Nationhood means there is brotherly love. There is oneness. The policy you make is for the people. When you choose a government, it is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. What you have now is government of the few, government of the oligarchy, by the oligarchy, for the oligarchy. Even in the case of that zoo called Nigeria, what they have is government of the Fulani cabal, by the Fulani cabal, and for the Fulani cabal. What you have is a country, not a nation. But I love where this man is going. So let us follow this man of God. He's a priest, I believe, because he's dressed in a white garment. Let us follow this man and see the way he breaks this thing down. See the way he breaks down what a country is from a nation and a state. I am yet to speak on the state. Listen to this man very well. Listen.
It is not necessarily a nation.
Okay.
A nation is an association of peoples. And I use that word in the plural deliberately.
Peoples. Yes. A country is not necessarily a nation. A nation is the association of peoples. Plural, S. At the end of the people, when you have S, peoples, it means it is different people coming together, different tribes coming together, different tribal people coming together, different nation within that thing Britain created called a country. Because even here in the Western world, white man, when they see blacks, they say you all look together. I mean, you all look alike. Sadly, till this day, when white people see us, they say we all look alike. Why can't you guys just get along? You all look alike. Unfortunately, they call it a tunnel vision. When they are looking at us as black people, they look at just one viewpoint. They see us as the same. You have a black skin, kinky hair. Oyibo eyes know fit to decipher the facial structure of black people. For example, if I see a man from South Africa, my brain can decipher with the features, small eyes, sharp nose, and thin lips in most cases, a tribe in South Africa. You can tell those from their accent. We can tell if somebody is a Nigerian, a Ghanaian, a Zimbabwean, a Malian, a Kenyan. I can tell because I have lived around those people in the Western world. But Oyibo no fit tell because they no get that, say, how should I put it now? When you have a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, the last copy go begin to fade out. If they make a photocopy of one document, you make copy of the copy of the copy of the copy. The last copy will be hard to see. It will not be clear anymore. So because we, black people, we were the first in Mother Earth. Millions of years ago, we've been here. Our DNA still did tap to the root. So we fit to decode facial features. Me and my brother, we were speaking the other day. And he told me something that I remembered and I was baffled. He told me that when we were still in that zoo as kids, when we were living in the zoo, when NEPA go take light, you all self watch this thing. For midnight, when there is no light, if I dey walk out for street for night, my brother feel they come the other way, my brother go recognize me. Your friend go recognize you. Your sister will recognize you. Your mother, your parents will recognize you even in the pitch of the night. Because there is something we were able to develop in us to recognize somebody. It can be the footsteps. It can be the swagger. It can be the movement of the body structure. It can even be the voice. You can tell. You have not seen that person's face, but you can tell who is coming opposite you. When my brother told me, I said, wow, you're right. But because we have gone through a decade or decades of era where there is no light, NEPA has punished us. NEPA has shown something in our DNA. We now develop a new mechanism to be able to decipher what is before us in the darkness. Oyibo man no get that stuff. Oyibo man no understand that level of recognition. They don't have it. So when they see black people, what they are seeing is just the color, your kinky hair, and your face. And they will say, you look alike. Very big mistake. For us, we know we are different. So when this man is saying here, a peoples coming together, it means different people. There is man and there is mankind. Oh my God, have mercy. We have different tribes in that zoo called Nigeria. Even from your language, the culture, the dialect, we are different people. So unless a peoples come together, you cannot have a nation. The peoples must come together, sit down under one accord, under one voice, under one agreement, under one house, under one document. They must agree, say, we the people. This is what we want to do. That is when you have created a nation. Unfortunately, with all the conferences that the zoo have been having, Britain and the Fulani cabal will not allow that to create nationhood. So they cry, let us have a conference. Let us have a conference. They are wasting their time because there will never be a conference that will create a nationhood, which is why we, the Biafrans, we are going. Because we, the Biafrans, we know ourselves. And under us, there can be what we can say, yes, we are a nation, the Biafran nation. Britain is responsible for this problem. Britain is responsible. But let us take it back and allow this man break down his science. Listen to what this man said. Let us watch him break it down. Listen.
By conceptual crisis.
Okay.
Quite often when we speak about Nigeria, we collapse the distinction between country, state, and nation.
Okay.
We tend to think that the three mean the same.
Okay.
We tend to think the three are synonyms. A country is a territory. From the Latin contra terra, the land that lies ahead of you. A country is a territory.
Okay.
It is not necessarily a nation. A nation is an association of peoples. And I use that word in the plural deliberately.
Okay.
Because of diversity. A nation is an association of peoples who identify their shared core values.
Hey, this is where it gets me. A nation is an association of peoples that can sit together due to their shared cultural values. Hey! And their core values. When you look at those things, those core values, you must share the same core values. You must share the same belief system. So those, when they say unity in diversity, you are telling lies. When you say in Nigeria, there is unity in diversity, you are telling lies. Because you don't share a cultural value. Hey, God have mercy. You don't share a cultural norm, a way of life, a way of thinking, the way you perceive life, the way you perceive the world around you, the way you perceive people around you, your culture, your food. In America, when you say American pie, you know what it means. Those in New York, they can eat American pie. Those in Chicago, in California, they know what American pie is. But in zoo, you have different delicacies. There are some food from the north you can't even eat. It tells you you don't share a core value system. Your way of life is different. The way you perceive your culture is different. I had a friend from Togo some years ago when I was young. After school, he comes to my house and we ate rice, plantain, whatever. He eats with me. But whenever I go to his house, they cook their Togo soup. I don't know the name of the soup, but the way you have egusi soup, okra soup, and in all those food, the Togo own, I know the great chopper. Now, only when they cook rice, I feel chop rice for their house. But if them cook their own soup, I know if eat them. One day, this boy can't call me, say, my parents are not happy that when they cook expensive soup and they won't give me soup, they say, no, I no want chop. So now only rice they eat for their house. That they should ask me, why is that? Because to them, they feel they have cooked a very expensive soup. And they feel, say, with the smell and everything, I'll be happy to eat from their soup. But to me, in my DNA, I know how ogbono soup should smell. In my DNA, as an Igbo man, as a Biafran man, I know how egusi soup should smell or taste. In my DNA, in my cognitive reasoning, when I smell their food, when I smell the Togo food, the way it is smell, I cannot relate to it. That soup, I cannot relate to it in my mind. So I don't want to eat it. Even when I first test them the first day, the taste, I know fit to get any, how can I put this stuff? Any point of reference in my DNA. Because even when you are in Obodo Yibo, you know how egusi soup should taste. You know how okra soup should taste. Those who are in the Yoruba side, you know how ewedu should taste. Or boefo should taste. Those from Calabar or from that side, you know how edikaikong kong should taste. As a child, you've been having it. So when somebody else from a different state, a different country, give you their own soup, the taste, the ingredients might be different. You cannot somehow, recollect that taste. It's not that good for your body. So you go say, I'm sorry, thanks, I can't eat it. It is smelling. To them, it is a smell of a sweet savour. The aroma. They call it a sweet savour. It's smelling so nice. My God, I can't wait to have this food. But to me, that is a smelly food. Oh my God, have mercy. I am going somewhere with this. We don't have the same core values. That is why we cannot be one nation. In the Western world, when you are going to your canteen, you will see there say, please do not eat smelly foods in this canteen. Sometimes some of my Yoruba friends in the office, they don't understand. They carry their fish, amala, put for microwave. You don't do that because oyibo them, that smell of fish from microwave, to them it is smelly, it is stinking, they get angry. To them, what you are eating is a smelly food. Even though to you, you can register the smell in your mind, in your brain. You they happy say, this my soup is getting ready. I'm going to enjoy it. It is smelling so nice. I put the curry, I put the thyme, I put the maggi, I put the oferi, I put everything you put inside, obakla, everything you put inside. And when you smell it, you are happy because you can relate with the smell. But somebody who is foreign, to them, you are cooking a smelly food. They would despise it. And when you tell them to taste it, they will be saying, I'm sorry, thanks, I'm sorry, I cannot do that. And you will think they hate you. No, they don't hate you. So this my Togo friend, when we were small, his parents told him to ask me, why don't I eat their soup? I only eat rice for their house. And I was a bit scared because I said, why they go that kind of thing? But I told him, say, my brain can only register the taste of rice. The way you cook your rice is similar to the way we cook our rice. But the soup that you will cook, when I taste it, my brain cannot register it. My taste bud cannot register it. The way it feels in my mouth, I want to throw out. I want to vomit. There is no pepper because there is a chemical. The way you cook your food, it is, oh my God. The chemical reaction, you know when to put the pepper, the salt, the thyme, the oil, the curry, the crayfish, the uba, the stockfish. You know the timing. You know how soft the meat should be before you put the ingredient. It is different to other countries, to other tribes. So we don't have the same core value. Our way of life is different. We are a different people. You might have a country called Nigeria, but there is no nation called Nigeria because we are not one. You must come under one accord to agree to have a nationhood. I am going somewhere with this. Listen.
And on the basis of their shared core values, they give themselves a constitution, which will now establish institutions that make up the state.
Wow. I will try to recollect what this man said. On the basis of their core values, they will now come together to create a constitution on the basis of their core values. The core values when they fit to relate to Hausa, Fulani, Yoruba, Biafra, Igbo, Middle Belt. On the basis of the core values, there are values and there are core values. Core value means the apex ones, the ones you can't do without. The main ones, the core, hardcore, the core values. Not just the values, the core values, the top of the pyramid, those things that must be discussed, those things that must be agreed, those value system that must be, respected at all costs. The core values. Don't mistake values for core values. Everybody has values, but there are some core values where you say, in this one, there is no going back on this. So that is where we have the problem in that zoo called Nigeria. Because we, the Biafrans, we are people that we are law-abiding. Our land is our land. We know they sell land for Biafra land. Your parents, they will give you land for free to build. But people that will not get land, they can come and buy land from your family. Core values. Our core values have not been discussed with the Hausa. Our core values have not been discussed with the Yoruba. Our core values have not been discussed with the Nupe. Our core values have not been discussed with the Fulani cabal. Instead, what you have are stooges, henchmen, beggars, paupers, artisans, people like Hope Uzodinma going down to the north to prostrate, to take away his clothes, to strip himself naked, bow down, kiss the ring of the Fulani cabal, and he will tell them, make me governor and I will give you the land of Biafra. Make me governor, I will give you the resource of Biafra. Make me governor, the oil of Biafra is yours. Make me governor, all the things you want in the land of Biafra is yours. That is not discussing core values. That's somebody trying to sell a selfish interest. His interest. So they are buying from the interest of Hope Uzodinma. So okay, we shall make you governor. Walaitalai, we go make you governor. When we make you governor, Hope, we want to have the biggest land to build a mosque, not knowing that China has used the satellite to check where the best oil, uranium is from. They will now point that land to Hope Uzodinma. Walaitalai, if we make you governor, we want that land for near Olu area. Olu, yes. We want that big land there. He said, oh, my brother, Walaitalai, you can have it. You can have it, not knowing they have done their research. They have seen what's under that land. The oil, the gold, the uranium. They've seen it. And Hope Uzodinma, that idiot, that fool, will now sell the land or even give it as a gift to the cabal. They will build a big mosque there, then they will fence the whole land. Suddenly, you don't know what is happening in that land because you have given it to the cabal. And before your eyes, they are stealing your gold, your silver, your... Oh my God, have mercy, oh Lord, have mercy, God. It a pain too much, it a pain, my God, have mercy. Hey! It a pain me too much, my people. They pain me when I talk this thing. Because our people are so myopic. They cannot see what I am seeing. They don't know what I know. My God. Here in the Western world, those I have sat with in business meetings. And when they hear, oh, you are from that zoo, what they say on the table, my jaw go open. The resources they are mining, they are saying, we are taking all these resources and your politicians don't even know. They say they don't care. Just give them, some money and they're happy with it. We are making 100 times more than what we're giving them. And they don't even care to check. That's the thing. When you don't have core value, when you have not discussed on a round table, say this oil, it belongs to us. But at the end of the sales, we want to be responsible. We want to know how much oil the Western world they are coming to take. We want to know how much we are selling. And we don't do that because the cabal, they are in control. So we have not discussed any core value in that so-called Nigeria, which is why we are not one nation. People say one Nigeria, one Nigeria. The only thing you can say is one nation. And I've never heard about any other country calling themselves one Nigeria, one America, one Germany. No, what they say is we are America, one nation, under God. Every other country, they say one nation, one nation. But in the case of Nigeria, they say one Nigeria because they are smart. They know they are not yet a nation. So they will say one Nigeria. Nigeria is a country. But this man is breaking it down now. That you must come together under one accord and create a constitution which will now create a state. Like when you have head of state, that government, that constitution go create a state. The people, they are responsible for the constitution, and the constitution, the state must rule the people through the constitution. Wonderful. What a wonderful idea. Say the people, they come together, discuss the core values they agree on. And at the end of their discussions, they now come to create a nation. And from that nationhood, they will now discuss among themselves to create a constitution. That we, the people, we are saying this, we are saying that, we are saying A, B, C, and D. Now, from the constitution, you will now create a state to govern the people through the constitution. And the state is not bigger than the people. The state is not bigger than the constitution. The constitution is the holy grail. An example of the constitution would have been the 10 commandments. When God said, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not eat, thou shalt not steal. Those are an example of what should be the law. But in the case of that zoo, you see that even the politicians, they are bigger than the constitution. They do away with the constitution. The constitution says, oh, you must have 25% in Abuja. The people, they say, hey, to become president, you must have 25% in Abuja. But your law court, they said, no, that's rubbish. Hey, my God, have mercy. Let us listen to this man break it down. I love what he said here. Respect to the Prime Minister for putting this one out. I am a scholar, and I had to go deep on this. So listen to what this man said again from here. Just listen to what he said. Listen.
Necessarily a nation.
Okay.
A nation is an association of peoples.
Okay.
And I use that word in the plural deliberately.
Okay.
Because of diversity.
Okay.
A nation is an association of peoples who identify their shared core values.
A nation is an association of people who identify their shared core values. They identify it. Say, okay, this is what you want. The Yoruba, you say this and this. Okay, we identify it, we will not cross it. The Hausa, you are saying this and this. Okay, we identify it. The Igbos, you are saying this and this. Okay, we identify it. All these core values, we have now identified it. You see, and forever we shall respect it. The day we break these core values, the day we disobey any of these core values, then you are free to break out from this nationhood. You see how? You are free to break from the nationhood. The moment your core values are not being respected, it's a default. immediately you are free to break away from the nationhood. Britain did it in the EU Brexit. The moment their core value did not meet what EU were saying they were doing, when those things no meet the core values of Britain, they broke out. And no bombs or gunshots were fired. Nobody lost their lives. So Britain, why can't you give us the same thing? We the Biafrans, that's all what we're asking for. Why can't you give us the same? The core values of the Biafrans are different from that of the Hausa. The core values of the Biafrans are different from that of the Yoruba. The core values of the Biafrans are different from that of the Fulani. The core values of the Biafrans are different from that of the Nupe and the rest of them. So leave us, make we go, because we have not agreed to be one nation. We are living in bondage. Nigeria is a bondage. We are living in bondage. Hey, my God, have mercy. Living in bondage. And Britain don't care. As long as they're getting that oil, you can go to hell. Die if you want to. We don't care. You must remain there. That's what they're telling us. You must remain as one country. We made you Nigeria. You must remain as a Nigerian. Hi, God have mercy, God. EMA. Let's continue. EMA.
And on the basis of their shared core values, they give themselves a constitution.
Okay.
Which will now establish institutions.
Okay.
That make up the state.
Wow. From the basis of their core values, they will now carry out or draft institutions. They will create institutions, and those institutions will now create the states. You see, this can be so easy. It's very easy to do. As long as you respect those core values. You can't come and steal our land. Your cows cannot come to our land. You cannot kill us in our land. Your police cannot come and be doing checkpoint and stealing our oil, our gold, our diamond, all that stuff. We want to be in control of our resources. Control your own. Make I control my own. Nkem bu nkem, nkai bu nkai. Nkem bu nkem, nkai bu nkai. Control your own. Let me control mine. That's all we are asking. Very simple stuff. Control your own resources. Let me control mine. Because the way you are doing this thing is we are industrious people. We want to compete with China. We want to compete with the Biafrans. So we want to compete with Singapore. We want to compete with Russia. We want to compete with America. We want to compete with Japan. We want to compete with Saudi Arabia, with Dubai. But you are slowing us down. You are making us to discuss about cow. You are bringing us down to the level we are discussing with you. Your cow ate my crop and all this rubbish. We are bigger than that. We are on a level that we want to become the China of Africa. We want to be the best in what we do. But you are slowing us down, for crying out loud. It's not working. Our thinking is different. Our culture is different. Our perspective to life is different. The way we see life is different. The way we live our life is different. If you want to do your cow thing, no problem. Go to the north. You cultivate a land. You create your own cow stuff. They are fine. Do your herdsmen. Do what you want to do in the north. But leave Biafra land alone. We don't believe in cow roaming the streets of Biafra. We have gone beyond that stage. It's a nomadic way of doing things. We don't pass that stage. We are in the 21st century. I am competing in the Western world with the white people. I have been made their manager. I have been made their supervisor. I am the best in what I do. When I compete with white people in my business, I am the best. But in the zoo, you are slowing me down. You are weighing me down. I am driving my car. Your police will stop me. They will slap me. They will ask for money. They will ask for bribery. I am tired of this. I send goods to Africa. I send goods to that Nigeria. When it gets to your custom, you steal everything. You still demand more money to clear the goods. When I clear the goods, half of the goods they are missing. Corruption, bribery. We have gone beyond that stage. It pain me now. We don't pass that stage now. Hey, God. Culture. Core values. Your core values matter. When they don't align with other people, you leave them alone. Even husband and wife, at a stage, you might outgrow yourself. But if your core values remain the same, then you can remain in the house. But the moment your core values are different, the man is sleeping outside, the woman is sleeping outside, you have destroyed that marriage. It is time to divorce. In the case of marriage, they call it union. That union is gone. It is gone. The moment those core values, those values that make a marriage to work, the moment you destroy those values, the moment the man commits adultery or the woman commits adultery, you have broken that union. And it's okay for you to have a divorce. Core values. That's the main thing. I don't hate the Hausa. I don't hate the Fulani. Even the Yorubas. Most of my best friends are Yorubas. I don't hate them. But the moment the core values don't align, then there's a problem. It means we cannot speak under one voice. We cannot agree on the best way forward. I want to compete with America. When I was young, they used to say, Americans do it better, but I do it best. That was my motto as a young man. I say, Americans do it better, but I do it best. Good, better, best. Good, better, best. I will never rest. I will never rest until my good is better and my better best. That's what we used to think as kids. We were ready to compete with Americans. I was doing my music. I said, no, the zoo, your level is so low. I want to go and compete with Americans in the Western world. And I got there. I did my stuff. I made my money and I bounced out. I'm living good. Core values. When those core values don't align, it is time to break it up. When your core values don't align, it is time to break it up. You have called for a constitution or whatever they want to do, a national conference. They have said no because they don't want to discuss those core values. Hey, yeah, man, I gotta have mercy. And the way I'm looking at it now, it seems like it is only the Biafrans that don't share core values, because the Yorubas, I don't know, since your body language, since Tinubu is in power, your body language is a bit, it's like you are now believing in Nigeria again. Your body language. Respect to Koiki Media, respect to Chief Sunday Igboho. I'm not speaking about them, but from the other quarters of the Yoruba nations, your body language is changing. You believe in Nigeria now. You are keeping quiet. But after 8 years, when the Fulani come back, you will say, oh, Yoruba nation. No, you have to keep on doing it now. You cannot wait for 8 years for Tinubu to rule and say, okay, now let us go. No. If you believe for your freedom, you must start doing it now. But your body language is changing. Not the real guys. Respect to Koiki Media, a guy I love. I watch his programs. Respect to Koiki Media. He is a true spokesman, a true spokesperson of Chief Sunday Igboho. Respect to Koiki Media. That guy, he's the last man standing. They call him the White Lion. The White Lion. You see me? I dey watch everybody because I need to be more, critical in my analysis. I need to have first-hand information. And for what I'm seeing, Koiki Media is the only one still trying his best to shine a light on the Yoruba nation. He's the only one. At this point, I want to say respect to Koiki Media. But the body language from others, they are saying, Tinubu is there now. This. Okay, enjoy your Tinubu for 8 years. But after 8 years, you will look like a hypocrite if you start saying, you want to break out after 8 years. No, by then, it might be too late. You cannot wait now, say your man is there and you are waiting, because when Buhari was there, you were fighting for your freedom. Now Tinubu is there, you are dilly-dallying. You dey dilly-dally. You dey waste time. All right, let's continue, my people. Respect to Koiki Media.
What we have in Nigeria and in most African countries is a confusion where we think the nation is the state. The nation is reduced to the state. We have a country quite all right, by the fact that we live within a territory, even if that territory is not secure, as we all know.
Yes.
But we don't have a nation. We have institutions that make up the state. We collapse the nation into the state. If you look at our constitution, Section 2 of the current constitution, and you don't find this in the 1963 constitution. It ascribes sovereignty not to the people but to the state. That is dangerous. That means the state has the last say on any question. That means the state is more powerful than the citizen. That is a recipe for impunity.
That is what we have now. The state of that zoo is more powerful than the citizens. The citizens, they went out to vote, even though we told them not to vote, because we, the Biafrans, we know there is a state capture. We know those in power, the cabal, the Fulani cabal, they have captured the state. And now they are stronger than the so-called constitution. In fact, they were the creators of the constitution. After they killed MK Abiola, the military men, they created that so-called constitution, the 1999 constitution. And since then, any president you have now is stronger than the state. So if you like, vote from today till tomorrow. You are wasting your time. As long as what you score your constitution is still the same way it is, you are wasting your time. Your vote doesn't count. When you were small, them tell you, say, your vote is not your power. No throw away ammo. Better no go come if you no vote. But when you vote, you go choose the person to help with your life, make it better. Your vote is not your power. No throw away ammo. Better no go come if you no vote. But when you vote, you go choose the person to help with your life, make it better. Hey! That was the 419 in the 80s. They told you, your vote, not your power. No throwaway ammo. Better no go come if you no vote. But when you vote, you go choose the person to help with your life, make it better. Respect to Onyeka Owenu. I believe she's the one that sang it. She made that jingle in the 80s. Respect to Onyeka Owenu. Hey, the zoo is gone. The zoo is gone. You have a state capture. That now the presidency, they are stronger than your constitution. That means you are gone. Your judiciary system is gone. Everything is gone. State capture. Let's continue, I beg.
Because as we all know, the state is the head of state, or the governor, or whoever represents them. Whatever they say, we all have to comply.
Okay.
Whether they're right or wrong.
Boom! Whatever they say, whatever your so-called head of state says, whatever the zoo president says, you have to comply, whether they are right or wrong. And the problem is, if they are operating beyond the so-called constitution of that zoo, if they are bigger than the constitution, it means they have been made your God on earth, because whatever they say, you must abide to it. Oh God. Which is why they said in the beginning, you must have people coming together to discuss that core values, to create a nation. From the nation, you discuss amongst yourself to come up with with a constitution. From the constitution, you will now create institutions to create a state that will run the people. Hey, my God. But in the case of the zoo, the Fulani cabal, blessed by Britain, Britain told them they were born to rule. Britain told the Fulani cabal they were born to rule, which was why they killed MK Abiola. When they killed MK Abiola, Britain now told them to come with the 1999 constitution. But in this case, it was not done by the people, because nothing like discussion took place. No core values were discussed or highlighted during the creating of the constitution. They did not come up with a nation, but they said, the military people said, oh my God, Abdul Salam Abubakar and the rest of his cronies, they came out and said, we the people, which means they made a constitution not by the people, not of the people, not for the people, but on behalf of the people. Hey, my God, have mercy. It means that constitution of 1999 is not made by the people, not for the people, not of the people, but it was made on behalf of the people. It was made by the Fulani cabal on behalf of the people. It was made by Abdul Salami and his other military men on behalf of the people. The only time you sign a document on behalf of somebody is when that person is either dead or the person is a minor. Small pikin, when no fit sign passports, you go have to help them sign. A minor, somebody with mental health, you go help them sign. An old man when don't die or when they sick, that is vulnerable, you can do things on behalf of them. So your constitution was made for you, on behalf for you, by the military, by the Fulani cabal. No wonder there is a loophole in every sections of that constitution. Hey, my people, I need to pat myself on the back. I need to clap for myself at this point. I have done well. This is a good analysis. Well done to me. And big thanks to the Dragon for giving me this assignment. Simon gave me this assignment when I saw this video on his channel, on his YouTube platform. No, sorry, on his Twitter. I said, I must analyze this. Simon gave me an assignment. And I am sure my Prime Minister is proud of this analysis. He is proud of my analysis. Let's continue.
So we don't have a democracy in the true sense of the word.
Oh my God.
And until we have that, until we build a nation, we can't even talk of unfinished greatness. And I have to make a critique of the title of Governor Fayeme's book. It presupposes that there is a project that is unfinished. I am saying we have not even started the project.
Wow. He first said we don't have a democracy, and now he's querying the author of his book, saying there is a project they've not finished. He's saying, no, we've not even started the project. And if you remember, all the zoo presidents, even Tinubu is saying, this project called Nigeria, this project called Nigeria, not this nation called Nigeria. They know what they are saying, my people. They know what they are saying because they know, say, the moment they use the word nation, it means the people they have agreed. They've checked their core values and they have agreed to respect all the core values. And when all the core values were respected, written in gold, they now came out from those core values. An abstract from the core values, you create your constitution. For the fact that it's a Sharia in your zoo government, it means we have not discussed the core values at all of that zoo. Because we, the Biafrans, we shall never belong to a country that practices Sharia. Because it means somebody like me, if I go to drink in the north, if I'm drinking in the public, in a party, I am drinking and I basically got drunk. If you got drunk and you are in the north, they will kill you or they cut your hand off. So I will never agree to such values to be added to the constitution because it is against my core value. Can you now understand? This is why Sharia is a time bomb, because we have not agreed. You can't have Sharia in a country where it is against the core value of others. If I belong to a country, for example, called Nigeria, it means I can go to any state in Nigeria and enjoy my core values and practice my core values in the public. Like in America, like in Canada, Australia, United Kingdom, Germany, France, any country you go, you are able to express yourself the same way all across the whole states. In America, if you're in California, Miami, New York, anywhere you find yourself, Chicago, anywhere you find yourself, you can express your core values. They won't tell you, say, oh, don't go to maybe, for example, don't go to Miami and drink. If you drink, they'll cut your hand. Don't go to Miami to party. If you party in Miami, they will cut your hand off. Don't go to New York to steal. If you steal in New York, they will cut your hand off. That makes it crazy. That makes it look stupid. That means that's not one nation. It's a country, but not a nation. The people, they've not agreed. Because the man who loves to party will never agree to say, I am in your state and you are cutting my hands off for drinking beer. Or you are destroying my alcohol because I have a restaurant. It doesn't make sense. Huh? Who agreed this nonsense in that zoo called Nigeria? Now, who agreed to that madness? Oh, God have mercy. Oh, my God. Oh, God have mercy, Lord. My people, they are suffering. My people, they are suffering. And your pastors don't highlight this. They just tell you, pray in the morning, pray in the afternoon. God is good, God is good. Your pastors don't tell you all these things. At least pastors, they are not politicians. They should be the one telling the people this. They don't even do it. They are making their own money from the people. Hey! Man, let's wrap this one up, man. I'm angry.
And we need to stop deluding ourselves. What are our shared core values? What are the things that bring us together?
What are your shared core values? I've just said it here. What are the things that bring us together? In the case of Nigeria, there is none. The only one is super egos. You hear him say it now. The only core value that Nigeria loves is football, super egos. Ah, man. Very shameful. The only core value that Nigerians love are the super egos. Hear them from this man's mouth. Listen.
Apart from the super egos, supposes that there is a project that is unfinished. I am saying we have not even started the project.
Listen.
And we need to stop deluding ourselves. What are our shared core values?
Okay.
What are the things that bring us together apart from the super egos? You know, when I had this experience, 2013, I was visiting a place called Du in Plateau State. The Plateau State governor is here. I got to Du the Friday before the Nations Cup final between Nigeria and Burkina Faso. And there was tension everywhere. But on Sunday night, when Nigeria won the game, the final match, the tension dissipated. And most people forget the fact that a young man from southeastern Nigeria received the ball from a young man from Pankshin who had to leave Nigeria because his parents were killed. Victor Moses passed the ball to Sondemba. Sondemba scored the goal. And we didn't even ask about the local government of origin of the scorer of the goal.
Oga, that is how core value works. When you share the same core values, you will not ask questions, say, what tribe is he from? Anybody can be your president. We will not care the tribe, their religion, their culture, or whatever. If we have the same core values, if we share the same core values, or if we respect our core values, if we have put all our core values on the table, or if you lay all your values on the table and all the core values were picked up and they said, going forward, we the people, we shall respect these core values. These core values is what makes us a country, a nation. These core values we shall use from the core values to create our constitution. That's how these things work. When we say all this, they say, oh, you boys here are causing problem. I only learned all this because of I lived in the Western world. That's how it is. I know this because I stayed in the Western world. I was blind before, like you all in that zoo. I was blind before. Where you see a politician and you make him a god, you bow to him, you worship him, you say ranka dede, you are bowing down to them. They give you ₦1, they give you food. Almajiri culture. In the morning, you go and sit down in the front, in the compound of a politician, and he feeds you all. Not knowing it's the money he stole that is used to feed you all. I was once blind like you all. But when I went to the world of the white man, I started to read the same books of the white man. I was eating the food of the white man. I went to the same school of the white man. I started to reason like a white man. I was working with the white man. I could see how they lay their policy, how they have a framework. That framework is what guides their policy. From the framework, they shall not create a policy and guidance that will guide how that company is run. Nobody can go beyond the scope of that framework. That framework is like if you build house now, you don't put frame. Your house, they contained within the frame. That is what a white man does. That framework is like a constitution. That constitution will guide the presidency. It will guide the state because it was written by the people and it was gotten from the core values of the people. So anything you are doing, it will not go against the core value because from the core value, you create the constitution, and from the constitution, you create the state, and from the state, your so-called presidents are made. From the state, you get your governors. From the state, you get your ministers. From the state, you get the senators. Under the state, they are being controlled by the constitutions, and from the constitutions, you create the constitutions from the core value of the people. And the people, they came together from a state, from a country, they came together and they created a nation. And the way they did it was to say, we the people, let us come with our core values. Put your core values on the table. Are you ready? Are you ready to respect our core values? Are we ready to uphold these core values? When they said yes to it, when they said they were ready to respect the core values, they didn't use the core values to create the constitution. From the constitution, they were not able to create, the different states and the different policies, the institutions that were not able to create the state and the so-called president. They rule the people with the constitutions made by the people, of the people, for the people. Hey, my people, I rest my case. I feel so good, man. I pat myself on the back on this one. Hey, intellectual, not the intellectual you have in that zoo. Rufai Oseni, I'm calling you out for a debate. Rufai Oseni, I am calling you out for a debate. They say you are the best journalist in that zoo. I want to sit down intellectually, one-on-one. Tell me why you love Nigeria. Tell me why you want to die for Nigeria. Tell me why you believe in one Nigeria. And I will tell you, I will give you the reasons why none of your own argument will stand. I'm waiting for that call. We can do it on Twitter. We can do it on your own platform, Voice of the People, or we can do it on Arise News. Anywhere you want it. I'm ready. I'm ready. And I will go there with my Biafra. We shall discuss. Come with your Nigeria, I come with my Biafra. And I will break it down. I will show you why we have nothing in common. I will show you why Nigeria cannot be seen as a nation. I will show you why the so-called core values of the Yorubas, Hausas, Fulani, and Igbos, they were not discussed under one table. I will show you why there can never be one thing called Nigeria. I will show you why there will never be peace in Nigeria. I will show you why there will never be love in Nigeria. I will show you why Nigeria will never work. I will show you why the economy of Nigeria will be going down the drain. Because anybody who is in power, he's saying, it's my time to steal. Oh, these people, I don't believe in them. I don't know them. I hate the Igbo. I hate the Hausa. I hate the Yoruba. I will show you, Rufai, why your zoo will never work. Take your zoo and give me Biafra at the end. One-on-one, man-to-man. Make we sit down and make we discuss. Oh, my people, arrest my case, man. Woo! From me, from here, for now, I'm going to say peace to the whole family. Biafra Superstars Media, I'm holding it down. May God bless Biafra. And may God bless His Excellency Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. May God bless His Excellency, the one and only, the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile. His Excellency, ESN, Ekpa, Simon and Joko, for the great job you are doing, my Prime Minister. We love you, we thank you, we appreciate you. We know in your hands, Simon, Biafra is safe. In your hands, Simon, Biafra is coming. And in your hands, when Biafra comes, the people will rejoice, they will thank the gods of Biafra. Simon, kudos for the job you were doing. We love you. Well done, Simon. Thanks for standing for the core values of Biafra. You said Biafra first. Oh, Simon, I throw my cap for you. So from me, from here, for now, I'm going to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I remain Biafra Superstars Media. God bless you.